Wow, this lighting's pretty crummy, isn't it? I apologize for that. Guys and girls, I hope you can hear me. Someone just say 5 by 5 or whatever. I'm having a lot of issues here. This is a new mic, and I don't know if it's making any difference at all. I've been having issues with it. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. Guys and girls, listen, we have a lot to cover here. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that too. So, post market wrap up Wednesday, February 12th. 2025. I want you guys and girls to stick around a little bit. I want to cover some and I can't underscore this enough, very important information. Before we even get started, I want to show you guys and girls something. And I want you guys and girls to take advantage of this. It's 100% free. This is the autumn winter issue of Executive Global magazine. They did a feature with me, and the information in this article is gold. And when you read through this is again last year, autumn winter of last year, you will see that what we're witnessing here, I said would happen right in this magazine article. Now, this is free. You don't have to pick up this. You could get a hard copy, but the article is free. So open up a new window, Executive Global magazine, autumn winter. And this is the article, World Market Crisis. And I want to just show you something real quick. This is just the opening spread here, real quick. And I want you to notice what I wrote here. The fact is this: the system is dying. The system is dying, and we are all paying for it. And if this unfolds the way it appears to be unfolding, unless action is taken, listen to me saying this right now. I want you to hear this very clearly. Unless action is taken immediately, the world, as I said, this isn't just about the markets, okay? We're going to face a moment here again where the entire global financial system stops functioning. The flow of credit, the flow of debt through the system is going to stop. That means that every single transaction stops. Debit cards don't work. Credit cards don't work. Nothing. You go to your bank, there's no cash there to take out. This is going to be a moment in time that people are not going to forget for 1,000 years from now. This is not just an accident why we are in the situation we're in. There's no comedy of errors that got us here. The issue, and we got some very unfortunate news today. You probably know what I'm talking about. We're going to cover that in a moment. Not just regard to the CPI and inflation. People, look, man, you turn on CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business. They don't understand it. They don't get it. What do you mean? No one expected this to happen. It's incredible. What do they mean? Nobody expected this to happen. Do you believe that's true? Because that's the narrative here. What's going on here? You mean it really wasn't temporary? It's not transitory. It's going to continue. Not only is it going to continue, this is going to get so much worse. And let me explain to you why again. There's multiple factors involved in why the inflationary environment that we are in, not just here in the United States, but around the world, has nowhere to go, but much worse. And again, I cover that here. And really, this is free. Free. Go look up the article, people. Anyway, let me explain this to you, really, in the most simple way that I can. What has gone on here, and I'm just going to focus on when Obama took office, when we went into Trump the first time, and then Biden. We have seen, again, think about what I'm going to say to you. Obama, Trump 1.0, Biden. These three presidents doubled the debt. Again, going back to George Washington, every single president before them, these three doubled the debt. They helped the Federal Reserve double the debt. It did support the illusion of the stock market, which is a very powerful thing. The illusion of the stock market being propped up On the back of what? What am I going to tell you again? Artificially suppressed rates and therefore mass currency devaluation. You can't know these things. Okay, now let's talk about how cash moves through the economy. Cash moves through an economy in very specific patterns. Now, for those of you that may be new here, there is something called money velocity. Money velocity is the rate at which cash moves through an economy. If you were to look up what is the current money velocity, or better yet, look at the money velocity under the last three presidents to where we are now with Trump 2.0, you will see that the rate at which cash is moving through our economy is near historic low. Near and historic low. Now, bear with me and tell me if this makes sense to you. We all understand that there was a blame game going on during the whole, lead up to the presidential election, however you want to look at it here. What was Biden's fault, blah, 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 blah. The fact of the matter is, it was the fault of the last three presidents, along with the respective central bank, in this case, the Federal Reserve. All that cash that got pulled into existence during the last three presidents, it takes a finite amount of time, an indeterminate, actually, amount of time for all of those extra bills in whatever form they've been created, bear with me, to make its way through an economy. If we had an economy where the money velocity was running rapidly through the economy, you would see the effect of inflation very fast of those extra bills. Okay, inflation is what? Currency purchasing power loss. Now, because the money velocity, or the rate at which cash is moving through the economy, is at historic lows, it takes years for all of that cash to make its way through the economy. Now, the real reason why we're seeing it, again, it started to manifest under Biden, and we're going to see this manifest to a much greater degree under Trump. It isn't even regard to Trump's policy here. It can't be stopped with the current dynamics that are in play. Once the cash, again, made its way through an economy that's essentially dead, that's because we have no money velocity, historic low. Once that makes its way through to the consumer side of the economy, which we have now, you start to see the effect of currency devaluation because of all these extra bills now chasing the same amount, or in this case, actually a lesser amount of goods. People, this is basic economics, basic finance. But no one can tell you this stuff. A politician's not going to tell you this. A central banker's not going to tell you this. Maybe they don't understand it. I really don't know. I would expect, honestly, that President Trump, who did go to Wharton Business School, unless he didn't pay any attention, this is very basic stuff that anybody, so it should make sense to you, right? So what we have now is we're seeing the effect of all of these extra bills. And it gets worse than that. We have the world right now. What are they doing? De-dollarizing. All those extra bills that are not needed, where are they going to go? They're going to go to other places? No, they're going to start to come here. So the effect of inflation is going to be magnified massively moving forward without tariffs or anything else. This is just talking about basic economics, cash moving through the economy. Now, listen, the lie that you have been told and sold throughout the last three presidents, and you're probably going to hear this now, is our economy is booming, our economy is strong. Now, let me ask you, does this make sense to you? If we have cash moving through an economy, and this is global, at near historic lows, how can the economy be booming? In order to have, here's the proof for you, in a booming economy where people are out there spending cash and everybody's prosperous, the money velocity is fast. Cash is moving rapidly through the economy. When you have an economy like we have here around the world and here in the United States, and that near historic low money velocity, that tells you we're going nowhere. You cannot have a booming economy or even a normally functioning economy with money velocity at a near historic low. Does this sound right to you? Of course it does, because these are the facts. Now, the fact of the matter is, unless action is taken to prevent, and this is how it would have to work out, to prevent all of these extra bills from chasing, in this case, a lesser amount of goods here, even with the money velocity where it is now. If action is not taken, there's nowhere for this to go but much, much worse. How do we stop this? I've told all of you the solution is so simple, but no politician is going to tell you this. No central banker is going to tell you this. They think you're dumb. I'm being honest with you. They don't understand that you have a guy like me, and I'm sure there's other guys and girls too, who are going to tell you the same thing. To fix the inflationary environment that we are in, and just going back to today, I mean, again, this was a big shock. Consumer price index rises more than forecasted. Nobody saw this one coming. Really, you did. Because how many times have you heard me say, this is not going to stop? This is not going to stop. This is not going to stop. You want me to say it again? It's not going to stop. Unless action is taken. Two things could stop inflation like that. End it, period. Number one, you probably know what I'm going to say because I've told you before. But if you're new here, pay attention. Contract the money supply. The amount of bills that are floating around this world and are just waiting to, again, make their way to you and I in the form of massively devalued currency. It takes a long time for that cash to make its way through the economy. The blame game during the whole run-up to the selection was to trick you. They can't tell you the truth. They can't explain to you that it really isn't. Again, it's not even going to be Trump's policies moving forward, unless, of course, he did the opposite of what he's saying to do now. Again, we need to contract the money supply and vastly raise rates. Yes, that would hit the stock market like a sledgehammer. No, like a wrecking machine, ripping right through the stock market. That's the real reason behind artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation, and ballooning the debt, to inflate the stock market, to foster the greatest wealth transfer effect that has ever been seen in the history of the world. That is going to get much worse here. Again, to stop inflation, contract the money supply, vastly raise rates, it would hit the stock market. The stock market is going to get hit anyway in a massive way. The stock markets of the world today, what are they? They're floating on an ocean of debt deeper than any ocean on the earth, times, I don't know how deep you want to go, many multiples. Okay. It's a house of cards. The entire thing is a house of cards floating on a pool of rocket fuel that is going to go off. And all of this is dependent on the debt market, all of it. So to prevent a debt market meltdown, and no one's here to do it for us. No one's here is going to help us. We're hearing again just yesterday. Let me show you what I'm talking about, people. I'm not making this stuff up. Where did I put this? I got a mess around here. Just yesterday, we heard Elizabeth Warren saying Powell needs to cut rates immediately. The next FOMC meeting. Today, Trump reiterated, again, interest rates should be lowered. Lowering interest rates is exactly what we do not need, okay? You should understand, as to what I just told you. Lower rates is going to allow vast debt expansion, not contraction. We need to contract this. Does it sound right what I'm saying? Unless you believe Pocahontas is right. Oh, I shouldn't be saying that, right? No, I don't like Elizabeth Warren. And I don't think she has the slightest clue, honestly, about the economics and finance, although she is the head of the banking committee. Imagine our the Congressional Banking Committee. She's minority leader. Imagine, really, honestly, you couldn't pick anything better than that? Anything at all? Okay. So unless you believe that Elizabeth, let's forget Trump here. Trump wants what Warren wants. Let's forget Trump. Is Warren correct here? Do you believe that Warren is correct here? It's astonishing that these two people are on the same page with regard to lowering rates. Now, let me read something to you real quick, all right? and I wrote Lions alert. This is very unfortunate. This is in your inbox right now if you subscribe to my newsletter. I wrote, let me just get this arrangement. So I wrote Lions, first off, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, came in higher than expected. Inflation continues to rise. And all of us Lions, all of you sitting here, saw this one coming as I have outlined repeatedly that this will not stop. With that, President Trump this morning again is calling on the Fed to lower rates. President Trump knows that lower rates means purchasing power losses and therefore a higher cost of living. He also knows that lower rates and therefore currency purchasing power destruction will boost the stock market. And of course, yesterday, Elizabeth Warren saying the same thing. What did I write here? More. Oh, yeah. Again. So how does this happen? Let's just say Trump and Warren get their wish. The Fed lowers rates. What this actually means is the Fed gets to monetize the debt. I want President Trump to sign an executive order taking advantage of the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 and monetize gold. Okay? Monetize gold, back the dollar with gold. Okay, are we on the same page so far here? And then revalue gold. We could stop this all right now. We could prevent the debt market from imploding. It's going to implode. It's being fueled right now by design because I'm telling you right now, it's going to explode with such ferocity today. Just as an example, I mean, this is nothing. So first of all, as you know, when we got this news this morning about inflation coming in worse than expected. No one saw this one coming, of course, right? The stock futures were getting decimated. When the market opened, the stock market was getting blasted. But again, something happened. We did finish lower. The NASDAQ actually got eked out a little bit of a win here. The S&P 500 still, we're not going anywhere. The broader market, it's over here. This goes back to the law of diminishing returns. Now, anyway, so what Elizabeth Warren and President Donald Trump are looking to do, obviously, is have the Fed monetize the debt more so. And this exacerbates the problem even with Johnson. Thank you. Yes, the system is a joke. Now, anyway, so with regard to, I'm explaining that lower rates is not what we need. Some people, this is a guy, gentleman, I'm not calling him out, but this is what he said. This is Paul Johnson here. Okay. This is, again, I set this up for you for free. My Substack link in the description of the video. He writes, also, lower rates boost the economy as businesses can borrow cheaper and interest rate on credit cards is less than powers, and this will help power retail buyers. Okay, this is the kind of line that Elizabeth Warren is going to sell you along with Donald Trump. Here is the reality of this. Look at my answer. I don't know if you can see this. No. The law of diminishing returns applies here. Rates are already at historic lows and the currency purchasing power is evaporating. The economic boost, if this were to happen, would burn out and turn negative again very rapidly. Borrowing devalued dollars will not help anyone, even in the medium term. Look, man, I'm a guy who I would believe that most of you would agree. I understand how the financial system works and the economy works. You do too, if you follow this blog. It's not hard. It's really not. Now, again, if action is not taken, we are going to end up in a worst case scenario, which means a locking up the system. Today, the 10-year yield did a 10 basis point jump, which pushed the MMRI higher. Market stuck. It can't go anywhere. This is the headline about the 10-year yield. 10-year yield has the biggest one-day jump of 2025 after hot inflation data. Let me ask you a question, because we're friends, right? We can talk about anything. When do you think there's going to be anybody held to account for what's happening? Because again, President Trump actually said, look this up for yourself, after the entire campaign, blaming Biden for inflation, he actually said it was the Federal Reserve's fault. He knows it's the Federal Reserve's fault. But meanwhile, Elizabeth Warren and President Trump are both calling for the same things, lower rates, which is exactly what we don't need. All this is going to do, again, is suck the purchasing power of the currency out, possibly help inflate the stock market even more. But again, the law of diminishing returns applies here. Okay. How does wrecking you and me and the economy along with it, how's that supposed to help us here? It's not going to. It's not going to. I don't know what some people are actually thinking here, honestly. On the back of the market today, gold and silver didn't do too much. Cryptocurrencies, okay, nothing major going on here either. I don't know if I have anything else that I want to actually show you that I made printouts of. I really hope that what I'm saying is correct. You're right. The economy is already wrecked. So what do? Space Vibe Z. The economy is already wrecked. No accident. No comedy of errors. I've told you how we got here. The mechanism is very, very simple. Artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation. This is a wrecking machine. And it's going to get a lot worse for we, the people, the middle class of this entire world. That's what it is. They're really trying to continue what's called the Cantillon effect. Okay, the Cantillon effect is, again, easy money printed out of nothing does help the 1% and 2%ers. As that cash trickles the economy via the lag effect that we just talked about, as cash, it can take years, as I said earlier. When you have an economy that's dead, the global economy is dead. You wouldn't know that by looking at the stock markets of the world. Stock markets of the world pretty much are very close to all-time highs. But the money velocity is near a historic low. So again, no one can tell you the truth. Not President Trump during the run-up. He couldn't tell you the truth. He still can't, although a little bit came out. And I'm not putting down President Trump for those of you who think I am, okay? I'm telling you what the facts are. If you find facts that are contrary to what I'm explaining to you very clearly, please explain this to me, okay? Because I am willing to learn. But what I've explained to you is very basic finance and very basic economics, very basic stuff. It should make sense to you what I am saying here. It's a shame that we only have 1,700 people here right now, I'll be honest with you. These people have no idea what's happening, why it's happening. And again, these are the people, you and I are the select few. I've been saying for years that a natural selection is going on here. Most people are going to be so devastated, so wiped out from the ferocity of the bursting of the debt bubble. This 10 basis point jump higher in the 10-year yield, this is nothing. We're going to get 20, 30, 40, 50 basis points higher jump with regard to the 10-year yield in a day. And it's going to be in succession once the debt bubble bursts. And what is that going to do to the stock markets of the world? They are going to crater so fast and so hard. Again, fostering that wealth transfer. What they need is a crisis. You know that to finish the new system. The bridge into the new system is being built very, very rapidly. You know that. This move to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Let's make the United States the constitutional money system of the world today by executive order. President Trump, it's people, this is the law. This is the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. By executive order, today, he could make the United States the constitutional money system of the world. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And there's even talk right now, and I'm just going to tell you, okay, that Neil Kashkari, you know, the man who I've been referring to as Lex Luthor, he could be Nosferatu Man and Imhotep. He's potentially Trump's top pick for the next Fed chair. We got to move out of the freaking country if that happens. This guy, okay, just do you look. This guy is so if you were to cut him open, he would bleed Federal Reserve that would just come out of his veins. You understand? This guy is. I think there's a very high probability that he's going to get in there. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. If Trump puts him in there, I don't even know, man. You guys and girls let me know, man. But look, This is sickness. It really is. Anyway, guys and girls, listen. I've really covered a lot here with all of you. I hope that what I've explained and said makes sense to you. What I've explained to you, how the system works, why we are seeing inflation now, the blame game that we all knew was going to happen. It's a lie. It's a lie by omission, and that's what politicians do. They can't tell you the truth. Does it bother you at all that we have Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump saying the same thing with regard to the Federal Reserve? Neither one of them explaining to you what I did, how to stop inflation in its tracks. What they want to do is allow the Federal Reserve, by having the Fed cut rates, is monetize the debt. I want to monetize gold. Does that sound, which plan do you like better? Do you like Donald Trump? Donald Trump, okay? Elizabeth Warren, they're over here. They're over here. Trump and Warren. And they got me on the other side. Whose plan is better? Their plan to have the Federal Reserve artificially suppress rates, monetize the debt, or Greg Mannarino's plan of having the president utilize his power of the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 and monetize gold to back the dollar? What sounds better to you? Trump and Warren's plan or Greg Mannarino's plan? People, the answer is so obvious. It's so in your face that I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, I can't believe there's one single person that would believe that Warren and Trump's plan is better than mine. I don't know what to tell you, guys and girls. Listen to me. Listen to Greg, please. We're in a lot of trouble here. The bursting of the debt bubble. Let me say this another way. The greatest threat to human life and human existence, forget about our way of life, is the debt hyper bubble. When that bubble bursts, again, like I told you a minute ago, imagine what this is going to be wherever you live in the world, okay? When all transactions stop. You think I'm making this up? I urge all of you to always do your own research. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. In 2008, when the market was crashing, they had everyone focusing on the market, stock markets. What they always do, look at the market, look at the market, look at the market. It was the debt market that was imploding. What was happening here was the flow of credit through the market was starting to lock up. That's the real reason why Bernanke was floated in front of our loving, caring representatives. He said over that weekend, if we don't start pumping billions of dollars into the economy immediately, we can't wait. He said by Monday, we won't have an economy. An economy. That's because the markets, the credit markets were locking. That's where we'll move. There's no comparison to the situation we had then to what we have now. The situation has been exacerbated, and I'm not exaggerating, at least 100-fold. It's 100-fold worse today than it was then. So a locking up of the system seems to be their goal, so they can issue in their new system here. We all know that we're going to a tokenized system. Everybody knows it. And this is what it looks like they're going to do to bring that about. Anyway, look, I think we're pretty much on the same page. At least I hope so, all of you here. We need action here. We can't wait. We can't just wait for this to happen as we're bridged into the crypto system. I want President Trump to exercise his power as president of the United States to monetize gold by executive order. He could do it right now, today. Instead, we got what? By executive order, we're going from from paper straws back to plastic. I'm not joking. This is an actual executive order. Okay. By executive order, we're getting rid of the penny because we can't even afford to make it anymore. The nickel's next. The nickel is next. It costs 3 cents to make a penny. It costs 15 cents to make a nickel. But they got to incrementally break this into you. This is inflation. We can't even afford to make a penny anymore. It's not that it's a barbarous relic. We can't afford to make it because of inflation, because of everything I've outlined for you today. This is not going to stop unless, I guess, we the people ourselves take action, or President Trump uses his authority given to him by, I guess, the American people to take action. President Trump, somebody out here who's watching this blog, this is a pretty big, must know Trump personally, must either have a connection to the administration. Does Trump not know that he has the power to do this via the Gold Reserve Act of 1934? That today we can become the constitutional money capital of the world? Right now? It's too simple to do. And we could end central banking around the world. We could free the people of the world from living under these tyrannical regimes known as collectively as the central banking system. Does this sound right to you? Because people know the truth when they hear it. Or has what I said, let me ask you seriously, people, and I really want to know this from you. How many of you take exception with anything that I said during this video? I would be willing to bet that 100% of you, I'm not even going to say 99, 100% of you that are sitting here watching this video blog agree with every single thing that I said. Everything. Because it's all too simple. Just anyway, guys and girls, listen. I want to thank you for being here. Honestly, supporting my work, watching these videos, getting this stuff out there. I'm counting on you guys and girls like you have no idea. You and I, people. Thank you, Clemente. I appreciate that. I know you write to me. I do read your comments, by the way. We need action to be taken, and we need to push our leaders to do it. We can't expect them really. Maybe it's possible. Let me just say this. In the remote, it's possible that President Trump doesn't realize that he has this power to monetize gold, revalue it, to get us off of this twisted, perverted system that we're all slaves to. He could do this right now, today. I would be willing to bet that he knows this, but I'm not sure. Okay, and no one is omniscient here other than God. So I don't know, man. I really don't know, people. But I'm telling you right now, we the people of this world cannot afford this anymore. In the literal sense, we cannot afford to live in this system anymore. The last thing on this planet that we need right now is Elizabeth Warren's idea and Trump's idea to have the Fed lower rates and therefore monetize the debt. We want to monetize gold. We want to go back to a constitutional money system. This is our right. It's a guarantee in the Constitution of the United States. It's about time that we got that system back. Don't you agree? All right, we're going to get out of here. People, look, if I've said something, if I have earned your thumbs up from this video, please, let's allow the algorithms to pick this up. Okay, that means all it takes from you is to click that thumbs up down there. That helps. Number 2, please put a comment here. Share this stuff. Get it out there. Start to engage people a little bit more. And I understand there's no way we're going to get through to everybody. But if we could maybe just get a few more people involved in this, maybe we, the people, could force the hand of our so-called leaders here, because they're leading us and we're leading ourselves to our own destruction via this mechanism here. No one's here to help us here. It's Elizabeth Warren's plan, Trump plan. It's destruction. A massive destruction is what we've gotten already, and it's only going to get worse, being that we cannot stop the flow of all these extra bills making its way to you and I in the form of massively devalued currency. Let's just make the system. Let's just exacerbate the problem by cutting rates here. You've got to be kidding me. When are people going to take to the streets? I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't understand what it's going to do. I really don't. I don't know. All right. I'm out of here. I'm not even going to take any questions today, people, because it's kind of a long video. But I want you guys and girls to ponder everything we spoke about. All right. Love you all from the heart with all I got. I will see you guys and the girls in the morning. Okay. Please, please, people, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We really, really got to do something here. All right. That's all. I'll see you in the morning.